So, today we're going to talk about just what it means to be mindful and some of the things that can be helpful with practicing mindfulness. One of the things that I've noticed is that I have this sense of distance between my thoughts. So, what do I mean by that? So sometimes if you're experiencing symptoms of anxiety, the thoughts can come on like you're surrounded by thoughts and they kind of don't stop. And that can be like the most frustrating part about anxiety. And so mindfulness comes in when you kind of practice it on a regular basis. And this could just be sitting still for like 1 minute or 5 minutes or build up to 20 minutes. Either way, the more you kind of practice that, the more you're kind of able to um, notice that you're having that thought rather than be consumed by it. And sometimes when we're being consumed by it, it's almost like we can't think straight, and it's as though we're kind of going into that fight or flight where we feel like we're being chased by a bear, or it's like this SOS situation where you need to figure something out immediately. And that's why it kind of becomes that fight or flight response. There's this sense that your brain's telling you this needs to be fixed now, and therefore run away from the bear or freeze and try to hide. And when that happens, we have a hard time thinking through things, or we can kind of be stuck into this point of total stagnation where we're not able to move at all. Like we'll be so worried about what to do next that we won't do anything because we're so consumed by all the anxious thoughts. So one example is you might think to yourself, "Oh, okay, I'm having an anxious thought right now." Or really it kind of starts with seeing things more neutrally as opposed to make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. And so you might tell yourself, "Okay, um, I'm experiencing this uncomfortable feeling. This is what it's like to feel anxious." And sometimes we can kind of start by identifying what's going on in our bodies as a way to understand what we're going through, as opposed to being caught up by the emotion. And so when you're feeling anxious, you can say something like, "Oh, I notice my heart racing. I'm observing that I'm getting my body temperature is increasing." And so these are different statements that don't have some kind of judgment attached to them. So a judgment might increase these thoughts, whereas if you talk to yourself more neutrally, it kind of can allow those feelings to subside. So that's all for right now.